it's Cassie with Cassie's Parlor. Today we are going to make some really fun and cute Valentine's projects using these Tootsie Pops. You could use any kind of sucker that will work, Dum-Dums or Blow Pops, or really any kind of sucker that you want. And we are going to use Grafix Craft Plastic. This is the Dura-Bright Opaque White. And we're going to use some alcohol ink, and we are going to make something really, really fun. So to start out, I'm just going to take a full sheet of the Opaque White Craft Plastic, and we're just going to make some fun background paper, okay? So I'm going to put all the other things aside. I've got some Brea Reese colors of alcohol ink here. I've got mostly, you know, pinks and magenta, fuchsia. This is medium magenta, rose, and blush. So those will be the primaries. Of course, this is a Valentine's project, so definitely want most of that. I might throw in a little bit of gray. Let's see. Maybe a little bit of the fog, just for some variation. But I mean, you could use any color you want, for sure. So I'm just going to start in the lower section. We're going to end up cutting out a bunch of hearts with this punch. I'm using this punch with the craft plastic, and it will work great. But you could, if you had a die that was in a heart shape, or if you had like an SVG and you wanted to cut it out with your electronic cutting machine, like die cutting machine, like you know, Cricut or Silhouette or anything like that, you could use that. Any way you want to cut out a heart after you've created on top of it is going to work just great. Okay, so we're just going to play with alcohol ink and make some background. So there's no real particular, you know, way that this has to go. I'm probably going to just cover maybe half of the page, because I think that will be enough to make the hearts. But you could definitely cover the whole page and, you know, have some left over to use on other projects too. It never hurts to have a little extra Dura-Bright white craft plastic with alcohol ink on it for all sorts of projects. You could even make a card to go with this, you know, so if you wanted to use all of it or do the whole page. Okay, I'm just going to start with this. We can always do more. We can always, you know, change it up. So I do also have the foam pads. Now, you could have put the alcohol ink on the foam pad and then pounce it around. I kind of just like to have fun and throw it on and see what happens. But then I use the foam pad to kind of like help blend it a little bit, help move it around. It really helps to bring that color out. And sometimes what I'll do is like go over with one color, like you can see I'm doing this brightest color. Wow, that is like really heavy on the eyes. It's so beautiful. This is one of my favorite colors. So, but then if I keep pouncing everywhere, it's just going to make everything that color. So I'm going to take off the that pad and put a new one on, and I'm going to go in with some of the lighter color here and move that around. And my goal really is just to kind of blend them and get some fun pattern going through here. You could add some turquoise to this. Maybe I'll do that. I think that might be really pretty. But see also what's happening when I pounce with the felt pad. You get some interesting sort of like honeycomb pattern in here too. So I'm just going to keep going around. Now I feel like there's a lot of darker pink there, so I'm going to go in and add some of the lighter pink. And you see how it kind of just takes over? I'm going to get a fresh felt pad here. These felt pads are super inexpensive and they come in like big packs, so don't feel like you have to keep using one over and over. You can change it up and you know, get a fresh one often. That's what I would say. And it really helps. Wow. Oh, I love this. I kind of feel like I just need to go all the way now. I'm mostly there. I'm just going to go for it. I thought, oh, a half a page will be good. But man, once you get going, this is kind of addictive and really, really fun. So I'm actually going to go with just those two lighter colors first and kind of go everywhere and I'm just pouncing. You know, you could make swirly patterns. You could do like a brush scripty kind of, or you know, like a straight brush kind of thing. There are literally no rules to this. Just whatever makes you feel fun and happy. And notice, like, I have alcohol ink on this felt pad now, so I could come down here and impact what's already been going on down here, right? It makes really cool kind of polka dots. So you don't stop with alcohol ink, you know, especially when you're doing a background like this, until you're done. You can always keep going. You can always cover up what was done underneath. I love this technique. I love these little bubbles that are popping up here and there. I think this is really fantastic. You can get some really cool, interesting layers going on. So I'm going to take this one off, and I'm curious. I'm going to take this older pad. Look at, there's still a ton of ink on there. It came off on my tabletop here. But look at, I'm able to just take that old felt pad that had the ink still on it and come back in here. Now, another fun technique when you're working with alcohol ink is to kind of drop and swirl, drop and swirl. It makes a really cool, fun kind of pattern. Let me do this. Yeah, that's fun. Now this just has one color on it, but let's say we've got this dark pink on here. What if I bring in some turquoise? Okay, I'm just going to open the turquoise. This is a very vibrant and dark color, so I'm just going to put one little drop. You see, I've just put one little drop. Okay, now I'm going to do the twist and swirl, and let's see what we get. Oh, it's turning blue because of the pink that's on here. And it's just making a dot. Look at there how it's swirled on the edge. Oh, that's what I wanted. Yeah, okay. So now I'm getting some interesting things going on. You can go back and swirl those out if you don't want little dots there. Okay. So, like I said, you're not done until you're happy and done with it, right? You can add other colors. Now this isn't turquoise anymore. This is more of a purple, which really kind of, whoops, goes really well with this because we're doing some Valentine stuff here. But so the colors will blend. So just know that too. That's just all really good information. Be nice if you added some gold on here or silver or whatever you're into, whatever kind of metallic color you're into. But look at how that just brings it up, adds some contrast and a little bit more visual interest, adding that new color in here. You can definitely leave it monochrome, but it's just up to you, whatever feels good for you. Okay, so you see how much use I just got out of that one little pad. I really love this background. If you were happy with it, you could stop right here. I don't even know if I want to add gray. I'm loving what the turquoise did and how it made that purple tone. One thing I do want to do though is I've got a little mini mister here that has it's going to give you the effect that you want, that I'm going to show you right here. Okay, so it's just the alcohol, nothing else in the mini mister. One word of caution I will say, whenever I'm working with alcohol ink, I make sure to say this in case you don't know. If you're using the alcohol blending solution from Ranger, this is an old bottle, but they all are the same. Do not ever put it in an aerated mister, meaning like you're going to spray it out, because there are properties in this that should not be sprayed because it can cause harm. Like it can cause health problems. It can get down in your lungs and it's not good for you. This is only meant to come out of this bottle and be sort of dripped out. Okay, you can drip it onto a felt pad and then pounce it, and that gives you really cool effects, but don't ever put blending solution in a mister. Okay, only alcohol, because alcohol is just going to evaporate in the air and it's okay. All right, so just a word of caution there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up kind of high and I'm spraying here and there. Woo! And look at how cool it gives you all of these tiny little dots. I love it. Let me bring this up close so you can really see. Look at, especially over here, we've got a bunch of those little dots, and this is going to dry, and it just adds so much cool texture. So I really am kind of loving this. I think this looks great. You can definitely, let me show you what happens when you use the the blending solution. So I've got a new felt pad on here. My cap was a little stuck there. I'm just going to put a little blending solution, just 3 or 4 drops, and I'm going to do the swirl technique. So it just kind of lifts the alcohol ink in whatever area you use it, okay? Just lifts it, moves it around. You could drip it on, you know, just right from the bottle, and that gives you a totally different look. But that's just another thing that you can do to sort of manipulate the ink and make it do what you want to do. So the other really cool thing about alcohol ink on the Dura-Brite craft plastic, well, on anything, but especially in here, it dries really quickly. If you're using a ton of alcohol ink and a ton of blending solution, it's going to take longer to dry. But if you're just using the alcohol ink like we did here with the pads, or just dripping it on and doing a little bit here and there, it's going to dry pretty quickly. So once you're happy with how your background looks, then it's time to start creating your hearts. And like I said, I am using the my punch here. This isn't a really old Stampin' Up! Punch. I've just had it for forever, really. But there's tons of ways to get hearts that you can use to cut this out of. While this is a little bit wet, I've got some Sizzix decorative metallic flakes. Really, these are just regular metallic flakes. You could use any kind you want. You could use deco foil for this technique as well. We'll see if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work if I waited too long for it to dry. But you just take like little metallic flakes. They're like tiny sheets. And you look for spots where you have like a pooling of the ink. Uh-oh, okay, well, it decided to stick somewhere else, which is fine. I just think it's really fun to add some metallic foil to your alcohol backgrounds when you can. So just put a little bit here and there, kind of stick it down. I use my finger to just rub it, and I can move it around and find other places for it to stick. And sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. Depends on how dry it is. If you get it fairly soon after it started to dry, sometimes you can get some really interesting patterns and effects going here. So just stick it down here and there. See if you can get any of it to stick. I might have waited too long for it to dry. It's still a little tacky in a few places, so I'm hopeful. If not, no big deal. You can also, of course, use, you know, there are metallic alcohol inks, of course, that you can use as well to really achieve some cool metallic effects. Nope, it's coming off. Okay, so we have a couple tiny spots. Not too much, though. I'm just rubbing it around here and there to see where it will pick it up. Now, one thing I could do, actually, if I really want some metallic, I'm going to brush off the parts that don't want to stay. So I got a little bit to stick. Let me show you. It's just really pretty. You know, if you can get it to stay, it looks really nice. One thing I could do, though, if I really want to try to add some metallic and it's dried a little too much, you can just take your alcohol spritzer. Let's see what happens if I do that. This is an experiment, so I don't actually know if it's going to work. But it's going to re-wet it for sure, right? And, oh, look at how cool that is over there. So I'm going to bring this back around this way. And let's see if we can stick anything. Just grab a little piece. It's just a little bit of foil, you know. Oh yeah, now it's really sticking. Okay, cool. So you can try that. You could put some more blending solution down, you know, and let it dry for a minute, and then, oh, that's a big sheet of it now. Okay. So just experimenting, playing around. Remember, we're going to cut this out. We're going to cut hearts out of this, so you're just going to get little flecks here and there anyway. Yeah, there's some stickiness over here. I'm going to try it out. So this is just an opportunity to play. Get a little bit of something going on. Oh yeah, there's a lot. Okay, I can definitely, yeah, so let it, what I'm finding is, as I'm playing here and just sort of discovering, let it kind of chill for a minute, and maybe 30 seconds or so, and then start to put it down. It's pretty tacky. Yeah, this part's dry. It feels tacky, but it's too dry. But this side is really tacky. And don't overwork it, because that ink color will start to take over, and then your foil will become more pinkish or whatever color you're using. So, okay, I think I'm good. We don't need to have it on all the pieces. It's just fun to have here and there. So, okay, I'm happy with this. Let me put this cover on this. The foil flakes like this, if you've not used them before, just a word of caution, you definitely want to put the lid back on as soon as you're done using it, because they're very light and airy, and they will fly away and float around your table or your room very easily, and you can lose them. So just be careful and put the lid right back on when you're done. Okay, so now I'm going to start punching out my hearts. When I use a punch, I like to hold it upside down so I know exactly where I'm punching and what I'm getting. So I'm definitely going to use some of these foiled bits because they're super cool. And whatever is left over, I'm definitely not going to throw away. I always use my scraps. I'm an art journaler as well, so I definitely like to use you know, all of my scraps, especially because this is Durabrite craft plastic, and this is like gold to me. I love this product so much, and I really just can't get enough of it. So anytime I have any leftover extra, I always keep it around to use for other projects. Wow, I'm getting some really cool patterns and stuff in here, especially with the foil. So let's see how many we have. I'm thinking 10 hearts should be about good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, perfect. Okay, so let's put this aside in case we need more hearts. I think 5 and 5 will be great. Okay, so we have all of our hearts cut out, and they've all been folded in half, and we have all our bits ready to go. I've got my lollipop or sucker here. It could be any kind of sucker that you want. I also have this mesh that we're going to use to sort of layer up. So let's get to the process. My glue gun is heated and ready to go. So I'm just going to get my first heart and just put a little bit of hot glue. You don't need a lot. And definitely watch your fingers and be very careful to not burn yourself. And we are just going to put it right up against the bottom. If I show you right here, we're going right up against the bottom of where the lollipop meets the stick, okay? Right over that, that packaging, the coating. And you're going to have a lot of little strings. It's okay. Those come off really easy once you're dry. I just want to, you know, just reiterate that being very careful is important. You don't want to burn yourself, but definitely this opaque craft plastic can take the heat from the heat gun really well. It has no problem with that whatsoever. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going around, and if you can see, I'm overlapping those petals. I mean, it's the half of the heart, but they sort of make flower petals. I'm overlapping them on this first layer. Okay, on our second layer, we're not going to overlap as much, but we're going to use 5 hearts here, and we are going to overlap them. All right, so I'm just putting a tiny bit of glue. You do not need a lot of hot glue for this first layer and for the bottom here, and just line it up so that your petals sort of overlap. They doesn't have to be perfect. This one actually isn't lined up perfectly, but that just adds extra charm, and I really think that it doesn't matter. Flowers are definitely perfectly imperfect in nature, and we're making just a fun little Valentine treat, so definitely doesn't need to be perfect. But we're just going to keep overlapping and keep it close to the sucker. Be really careful not to burn your finger. Really, really careful. Okay? I'm noticing too there's white on the back, which is fine, but if you really wanted to take this up to the next level, you could cover the back of these too. You could do the same technique, or you could put double tack adhesive and put glitter all over it. You could do lots of stuff. I think that would be really cool, actually. Okay, so let's keep going with this. We just need 5 hearts for this first layer, and I'm just going to make sure we're keeping it close to the heart. Okay, oh, this is the last layer actually, so I need to make sure it's covering both sides. So what I'm going to do on this last one is put a tiny bit of glue on the edge of the petal, just to make sure those are sticking together and lining up okay, because I really want it to be closed here. And I just noticed I've got 5 hearts left, so we want to make sure this is closed up nicely. Okay, so there we go. I'm just gonna hold this till the glue dries. It really doesn't take very long, and it's gonna set us up for success here. That looks pretty good. So check this out. So we have our first layer done, and you know, if you really wanted to, you could stop here and just have 1 layer. This is completely adorable, and just put a little bit of, you know, ribbon or twine around here to cover up some of your edges, and you could stop there. It's so cute. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna do a second layer, okay? And actually, you know, since I'm here, I just thought of that. I'm gonna put this upright so that it can dry a little bit more. Actually, what we're going to do first, I'm going to put those hearts aside. I really want to add a layer of tulle in between, and if you notice, this tulle has some just like, oh gosh, what would it be? It's just like random like bits of white, like fluffy foam almost. It just adds a little bit of texture and interest. But what I really want to do with this is leave the raw edge up. Okay, you could do it either way, but I think the raw edge up is fun. And we're just going to go around, not super tight, okay, and you can have it a little bit, you know, ruffled if it's a little bit long for you. I think being slightly ruffled would be really nice, but we just want to have a layer of it around here, okay? It's going to add a little bit of texture and interest in the middle. So what I'm going to do is put hot glue all around the middle of this, okay? And I'm just really putting it all over. It doesn't matter, you're not going to see it because it is going to be covered up by our next layer of petals, okay? So you just want to make sure, be very careful with the heat here, because tulle, as you know, is very thin, and I definitely don't want you to get burned here. But just take a moment, wrap it around, make sure it's stuck really well, and then at the end put a little bit of glue. And again, be super careful with the heat there. Maybe if you have, you know, something that you can cover your finger with so you don't burn yourself. I've got all these little strings here, which I will get out, and it will be perfect when we're done. Okay, so then you see how this just adds a little bit of fun texture. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. Isn't that fun? I love this. You could cut those tips and make them more rounded if you wanted to. Just depends on what look you're going for and how you like it. So I'm going to set that upside down so it can really dry. And since I mentioned that glitter, I'm kind of like, I can't get it out of my head now. So instead of just putting these on, I think I want to try to add glitter to the back of these before we put them on as the last layer. I think that will look super duper cute, won't it? So let's get some double tack mounting film out and some glitter, and then we will decorate the back of these. Okay, I went to get some glitter and I actually remembered that we used the gold flakes on the front. So what if we did gold foil flakes on the back instead of glitter? It's less messy and it's going to look really striking and amazing. So I think I'm going to go with that instead. So I've got double tack mounting film here from Grafix. This stuff is fantastic because it comes in a full sheet. Let me get a sheet out here. So I've got some that are partially used, which is fantastic because I can now take my same exact punch that I punched out the Dura Bright White opaque craft plastic, and now I can also punch adhesive, so I can make this into a sticker, and it's going to fit exactly and be perfect. So I need 5 of them, so 2. I love this stuff because you can get an exact adhesive match to what you're doing. So that's 4. I just need 1 more. And you can use the whole entire sheet. So I've punched these out of here, but like these are triangles. I can still use these on another project where I just need a little bit of adhesive on the back of something. It doesn't have to match the shape exactly. And I end up using all of the entire sheets of everything, and there's no waste ever. So that's my favorite part. I don't like wasting. So here we go. So I've peeled off one side of the backing, and I'm just going to lay my my heart down and just try to match up, you know, one edge or however works for you. If you get it started, you'll be good to go. So now this one is going to be a sticker, and when I peel up the other side and we put the metal flakes on, then it will be amazing. So I'm just going to do the same thing with all of these. I believe this heart is symmetrical, I hope. So I don't think it matters which side I peel up. But that's something to be aware of if you're doing a shape, you know, of something that isn't symmetrical. You just want to make sure you're peeling the right side of the carrier sheet off so that it sticks down correctly. That would be my only word of advice there if you're cutting out a shape that's maybe die cut or something like that. Now that one's a tiny bit off, but I don't mind. This is just adding some extra detail to the back of our cute little flower here. It's no big deal. And look, this one even has some alcohol ink on the back from, you know, from when I was creating my page. So this is another nice, you know, another way to cover some of that up and have it look just a little bit more finished. Okay, this is going to be so cute. I'm excited. I'm so happy I thought of this idea. I was just going to leave it white, but man, this is really going to finish it. And, you know, we didn't do it to this first layer, but you could, for sure, you could do, maybe you do foil on that layer and glitter on the other layer or backwards or whatever. So many choices. Limitless possibility. So let's get the flakes back out. Remember, you need to be careful with these and make sure you are being, like, you're not having any air blowing or anything, because these will very easily float into the air and go everywhere, and you'll just have a big old mess. So now this is my heart, and I've got the double tack mounting film on here. So we're just going to peel off the other side of the carrier sheet, and so now this is a completely sticky surface, right? It's basically a sticker at this point. And I'm just going to take some of this, these foil flakes. They're kind of in a sheet, which is really helpful. And I'm just going to stick it down. And just going to cover the entire thing. And whatever's left over will just, you know, will just come right off. Will peel right off, and you can use it on the next one. So I'm just going to rub it with my hand, and all the parts that come off, I'm going to make sure every part of this sticker has got some foil on it. Okay. And I'm just going to do this to all 5 of them, and then we will be able to finish putting our sucker together. Okay, check this out. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's perfect. It really finishes it off nicely, and it's going to look amazing on the back of that sucker. So I'm super excited that I'm doing this, and I hope you just take that extra minute to you know, finish your project and really give it a bit of a wow factor. And honestly, glitter would be amazing here too. If you don't have these flakes, or you just, you know, you would rather use glitter. I am a glitter freak. I love glitter so much. So I think either way would be really amazing. So yeah, pick what's your favorite and just have a go. Okay, so now I have all 5 of my hearts with foil on them. Oh my gosh, they look so good. Check these out. So shimmery and amazing. And you can see, of course, the pink is on the other side. So this is going to look fabulous. All right, this is definitely all nice and dry and cool and ready for the next step. So the next step is going to be to just make another layer of petals around here. We're going to cover up, you know, you can't really see the glue because it's under the tool and it's clear, but we're going to cover up, you know, more of this wrapper, and we're just going to clean it up, make it look really nice. I'm going to refold these because it kind of got flattened when I was doing the foil part. So it does help just to have this crease in here so it goes around the sucker nicely, you know, and it's a little bit easier work to do. Okay, so just coming back with our our glue gun, and just a little bit on the bottom of that part. And then we're going to make sure that the point that goes down on the heart is lined up with the center of the petal above it, so that they're staggered. I hope that makes sense. And just be real careful with your hands again. And we're only sticking down the bottom because we're gonna I want these to kind of stick out a little bit. All right, and don't worry, we're going to finish up the bottom too in the end and make it all look nice and neat. Okay, so just going around like I did with the previous layer, except this time I'm not fully overlapping those the half of the heart petals. I'm only overlapping maybe halfway. Can you see here? So the petals are layering over each other, but not completely, okay? Because we want to make sure we have enough room to go all the way around. So I do one of these heart petals at a time with the glue, just because I don't want that glue to dry before I can get it on the flower here. Or I'm sorry, on the sucker. Okay, and we're just going to keep going until I'm all the way around, and then I'll show you the finished product here. Oh my gosh, this gold is so awesome. I'm really excited about it. Super, super glad we used it. Okay, one more. Hope that's enough. Oh yeah, it's going to be perfect. Okay, yay. So pretty. All right, last petal, or heart petal. Okay, I'm just making sure it's centered so that it's covering everything. All right. Oh man, this is coming together really, really nicely. It's a little hot, so 1 second. Okay, so here we are. This is where we are now. Okay, so if you're making this with me, I hope you are. This is really fun. It's a great project to do. So you've got some petals in the middle, you've got that fun tulle going on just to give it some texture, and then you've got the petals on the outside. And then these petals, you know, they don't overlap as much, so I'm actually going to put a little spot of glue on the back of some of them just to make sure they all stick together, because they're kind of hanging out, you know, like around the tulle. The tulle is kind of thick, you know, so that makes it not stick together quite as well. So I'm just putting a tiny bit of glue so that these petals all stick together. So I'm just going to go around. I think I'll do each one and just the tiniest bit of glue. You really don't need a lot, because once you smush it together, you know, it's going to smush out and hold really well. And if any glue comes out of the petal, you know, don't try to get it while it's hot. Just wait till it cools. You can always just peel it off. It's not a big deal. Hot glue is like one of the easiest glues to really clean up, you know, later on. It's just grabbing something right there. We go. Okay. All right. And then I'm just going to keep going. Actually, it's working. Shoot. Hold on. Just making sure it got stuck a little bit to the tulle. Okay, I just wanted to stick out enough so we can still see it. And it was getting a little too tight together there. So you just want to make sure you still got space in between the tulle and this layer of petals. And the other side was getting a little too close, so I'm going to stick these together, hold them down. Just make sure they don't really stick to the tulle too much and you'll be okay. You just want it to be like a wider area here. Okay, got one more, I think. I'll show you what this looks like after, too. Okay, pretty good. Just going to let that dry a little bit more. I just really love this gold. This is fantastic. Okay, all right. Good, we're good, we're good. Okay. Get the little stringies out of there. There we go. So there's our flower. Super cute, right? So now, and look at the gold. It looks fantastic. I'm super duper loving that. But we still do have a little bit of that, you know, it just doesn't look totally finished on the bottom. So I'm going to let that dry like that a little bit and show you the last step here. This is the very last thing we need to do to finish this. Now, before I do that, you know, you can make just this one flower and give it to someone. You could put it on a card, maybe, and they can take it off and, you know, if they want to take it apart and eat it, or it just could be decoration or whatever you want. But you could also make a bunch of these. They usually at this time of year will sell these in like their own little bouquet, and you could make a bunch of these and then make a flower bouquet of suckers. Wouldn't that be so cute? So you can do just one, and I think it's completely lovely and adorable all by itself, or you could do like a whole little mini bouquet. So either way. All right, so I've got a slightly darker color of this tulle with this mesh, or with this, you know, speckle stuff on it. And I've just got a small rectangle here, and I'm folding it in half, okay, the long way. Can you see? It's tulle's hard to see sometimes. So this is folded in half now, okay? And so what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it because I need to use hot glue again. I'm just going to wrap this around the bottom, kind of like you would a bouquet. And my goal here is to cover up as much of that you know, wrapper and just the ends of the other tulle and just make it look a little bit neater. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll wrap it with some twine, and then we're done. So I'm just showing you first because when I get the hot glue here, I'm not going to be able to be real close up to the camera, you know, right away. But I'll be able to show you when I'm all done what it looks like. So again, we're just putting a layer of hot glue, just going all the way around here. Okay, they probably won't even be able to eat this sucker. I think this is more of a decorative thing at this point. But it's so cute, I couldn't resist. All right, and again, with the tulle, just be really careful. Make sure, the hardest part here is going to be making sure that you're overlapping that first part of the layer here. All right, it's okay if it's a little bit, you know, bunchy, kind of. And then at the very end, I'm just putting the tiniest bit more glue so that this end will stay down. Okay, and it just all kind of blends together. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. So we're going to let this dry for a second, and then I'm going to add the twine around that and just finish it up and put a nice little bow. All right, so we've got our red twine. You could use any color here for sure. Red, pink, purple, turquoise, gold, whatever you've got. And I'm just going to lay this down with the twine behind it, okay? And we're just going to make a simple bow. Very, very easy. And I'm kind of doing it like the top third, almost to the middle, I guess. It doesn't have to be super tight either. It can be. That'll create a little bit of a it doesn't have to be super tight. It can be. It'll create a little bit of like a ruffle or something there, but it definitely doesn't have to be. I'm just going to do 2 loops. When you get to this small space with small twine, sometimes it's tricky to make a bow. There we go. I've got glue stuck to my fingers. Okay. So there we go, there's our bow, and then I'm just going to clean it up and make it a little bit neater, make the little loops a tiny bit smaller. It wants to flip, so we're going to let it flip. The thing with bows, people have a lot of trouble making bows, and I understand that for sure. I have Sometimes I have trouble, but I really did in the beginning, definitely. But you really just have to let the ribbon or twine or whatever it is just do what it wants to do. Like this one wanted to flip and be the opposite way, so I just let it, you know, and then it kind of lays down better, and it does what you want it to do a little bit better sometimes. Okay, so there we go. So we've got cute little bow and the tulle wrapped around there to finish the bottom part. Looks almost like a bouquet. It's super adorable. And then we have the flower with the several, you know, 3 layers really there with the tulle in the middle. And then that gold, ooh, the pretty gold on the bottom. So, so cute. So today we used the Grafix Durabrite white craft plastic. As you can see, white here on the back. We put some alcohol ink on it. We put a little bit of foil, had a lot of fun with that, and punched it out with a heart. And then we also used the double tack mounting film to put that awesome gold foil sheets on the back of this these flower petals here, and I just think it looks so stunning. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found some inspiration here. Maybe you're going to go make yourself some Valentine treats. That would be fantastic. If you want to learn more about graphic arts products, you can go to graphicarts.com. They have tons of beautiful, wonderful, really great products that are very versatile and can be used in lots of different ways. If you want to learn more about Cassie's Parlor, you can go to cassiesparlor.com. I've got some great products out there, and classes and memberships and all sorts of things. Also, if you like this video and you want to see more, please consider subscribing and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.